Alright, first let me just say that Spring Awakening is easily in my top 10 musicals, if not the top 5. I love it, I love the story, I love the music, I love the message. Right? But folks, let me tell you, some parts of Spring Awakening, they do not make sense. I've become very intimate with this text. I just assistant directed it. I've pored over every line, had every actor read every line 4 million different ways. I'm very familiar with this text, and folks, let me tell you. See, I got a comment on my previous video, 5 musicals that don't make any sense, or that wasn't the actual title. It's something like that, and they were like, yeah, Duncan Sheik spent 4 years studying metaphor, and that's why everything's a metaphor. And that made everything just click. It just clicked. And everything made sense, because Duncan Sheik is like a first-year university student who just took their advanced English lit class, and they think they're Faulkner. Duncan Sheik is a first-year college student. Okay, of course the play part makes sense. It's based on a German play that was already well established, and that makes perfect sense. The lyrics, let me tell you, folks. Let me tell you. Now, some songs are very straightforward, totally effed. I'm not allowed to say that because YouTube monetization. Left Behind, The Bee of Living. Wow, right. Some of the metaphors, okay, you can work with, but sometimes you get so bogged down and everything has to be a metaphor or just complete teenage angst. It's like there's a no in between. There is zero in between. It is either complete. I am talking as a teenager in, when did he write this? Like early 2000s? Yeah, like I'm talking as a teenager in the early 2000s and I'm really angsty, or it's like I just read Kafka's Metamorphosis and I have a large vocabulary of words and synonyms and metaphors. And some of it makes sense. It makes sense for Melchior to be very, pretentious, and like, see the stars and know their dark returning. But here's the kind of lines that I'm talking about. One of the things that I kept running over in rehearsal, and I kept asking this actor, okay, you're an intelligent guy. What does this mean? And the line was, you're just a fly. The little guys, they kill for fun. It's in the context that they are the little guys who are being killed. You would ostensibly think that the line should be meaning that you're just a fly, a little guy that they kill for fun. But it's not phrased like that. You're just a fly, the little guys they kill for fun, which would imply that the little guys kill for fun, but it doesn't seem like if you're a little guy, you should have the power to kill. You should be killed by the people, because they're talking about authority and how oppressive their parents and their teachers are. You're not killing anything. You're jacking off and being angsty and writing your Latin all screwy. You're not a fly killing anything. Then there's that line in My Junk, which is like, see us winter walking after a storm. We stop all snowblind, may not be true. What may not be true? It has no context of Okay, the stop all snowblind, they're winter walking in a storm, right? And they see the snow and the sun reflecting off of it just blinds them, which is a metaphor. But what may not be true? You have to, and I understand this as a writer, your mind goes like 16 steps ahead of where you're writing, and so not everything is like completely linear in terms of logic. Like you're at one place and you jump to another and you don't know how you got there. The writer knows how they got there, but the person reading it is just like, what? We were here, we were walking in a storm, and now it may not be true. What may not be true? We don't know. We don't know, Duncan. We don't know. And then there's Mirror Blue Night, and just that song in general. Like, that whole song is just so up its own butt with the metaphor. that's the thing that, like, sometimes, not always, but sometimes through the musical, there are lines when Duncan's writing, he's like, I'm so smart. I'm really smart. And I'm gonna write this line. It's so metaphor. It's like 10 layers of metaphor. Again, one of my favorite musicals. Don't come for me, fandom. Oh shit. And that takes us to maybe one of the most egregious examples. One of my favorite songs, and I'm talking, of course, about Don't Do Sadness, Blue Wind. First of all, I don't do sadness, not even a little bit. That's just a lie. He's lying. He's lying more Stiefel, folks. It's a lie. He does exclusively sadness. He does so much sadness. More sadness than anyone else in the show, which is an astounding feat, to say the least. But then you have Ilsa coming in, and she's like, spring and summer every other day. And you're like, yas, queen, slay. But also, her line is so metaphorical. Blue wind gets so sad, blowing through the thick corn and the bales of hay, and she's just talking about living on a farm. and if you think of it metaphorically, it's like, okay, life and stuff, I guess, but it also is one of those times where it means like nothing if it's not connected to the text. And the thing about metaphors is that you can use them and they're great, but they have to be specific. The devil is not in the details. God is in the details. You put emotion is in the details. Literally, Malcolm Gladwell did a podcast on this about comparing country music and rock music, and how country songs, and we're talking not modern day like arena rock country garbage, but like old style, like Willie Nelson, like really like soulful, tearful ballads. And one of the things that they incorporated was really specific imagery, like, you know, the wedding ring left on the kitchen table, like that sort of thing, as opposed to like rock music, which is like wild horses. And you can think like, oh, the wild horses dragging him away are a metaphor for not being able to be dragged away. If you get so up in your head about the metaphor, which like makes sense, but you don't include any details, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't connect. And the only reason that half of these lines that he's writing make sense or connect with the audience is because the music's so good. And there's no better example than that than our final song, Purple Summer. All right, assignment: I will give you 50 points extra credit, class, if you can tell me what Purple Summer is about just by reading the lyrics. Stallions and the foals they bore. Oh, it's about all shall knowing, the song of Purple Summer. What's Purple Summer, you may ask? Well, if you go on the Wikipedia, you can basically surmise that it means like, hey, a better world tomorrow. But if you're in the theater and you just watched a sad teenager almost, slit his wrist, and this ghostly lady walks on and she starts singing this pretty song, you're like, yeah, this is cool, but also you're not like, wow, I'm getting the message that what we really need to do is prioritize, progress in education and all of the various facets of our society. No, she's talking about bales of hay and horses. Back again with the horses, folks. Wild horses. couldn't carry me away to spring and summer. Whether it's purple summer or a blue wind or a green spring or a red fall, a red dawn, I don't know. And most songs, there's a connection with the text. There's a connection to what's going on because it's like a musical. But Purple Summer is an epilogue that really has no context. It has zero context. It has none. It's just now a nice song, and the song is supposed to mean things will get better as we get more progressive and leave behind the ideas of conservative Germany in 1800. But you don't get that from the lyrics, and of course you can read into it. And I'm not saying you literally have to say exactly what you mean in the song, but there has to be a medium in which these two things meet. Because otherwise, instead of all knowing the song of Purple Summer, very few people will know the song of Purple Summer. Alright, anyway, thanks for watching. I do more videos on musicals and talking about semantics and BS like this in basically all my videos. Subscribe. Thanks for watching. Love you. Bye.